Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another segment of Alive at 5 here on the Veteran Influencers Network. Once again, it's your host, Chris Levine. And today, as always, we have another interesting subject that I want to bring up. Today's question of the day is, why is forgiveness so difficult to give on average? Why is forgiveness so difficult to give on average? Now, I know we've all been through that position to where we had to make a decision on whether we were going to forgive someone or not. And some of us actually made the decision to do it. Some of us didn't. A lot of factors that get played into our minds when it comes to making that decision whether we're going to choose to forgive or not. And more often than not, it's a very difficult decision to make. Some of the factors include fresh emotions. Maybe it just happened. Maybe whatever it was that caused you to be distraught, caused you agony, just recently happened, and it's still fresh emotions involved. It's very hard for you to make a decision on whether you're willing to forgive because it just happened, very fresh in your mind. Or the type of disrespect it was, the action that happened against you, the amount of how egregious it was. You just can't find yourself to be able to forgive, at least not at this moment. Who the person is. Maybe you just don't like the person that did that. Maybe it doesn't take much for you to not like that person or to be willing to not forgive because of the person who it is. Maybe you're just not a fan of that person. Or maybe even they're just very unapologetic. They don't seem very genuine. It almost seems to not bother them at all. I mean, you know how much you were hurt by it. You know how much you were affected by it. But for some reason, you just feel that it just doesn't bother them that much, the fact that they did what they did. And you just can't get over that. And because of that, you're not willing to forgive. At least not at that moment, you're not. See, I've always found that forgiveness is always one of those things where a lot more often than not, people don't choose to forgive people. As you know, it's almost like some people just like to have some type of edge on people. Like forgiving causes emotion. It causes you to dig deep into that emotion that actually hurt you in the first place. And a lot of people don't like the feeling of that. They want to feel like they're just forgetting about it. But what ends up happening is when you don't forgive, a lot of times it ends up eating you inside. A lot of time, the person that chooses not to forgive actually suffers more than the person who did something wrong to them. Think about that. You as the person, the victim, a lot of time ends up suffering more because you hold on to that. You hold on to not forgiving that person, and you continue to let it eat you alive every single day. Maybe some of you are in that position right now, or maybe in the past, or you know some people. Maybe you're holding on to a grudge right now, or something that bothers you that someone did and you're not willing to forgive. I would love to hear about something you have been unwilling to forgive someone about, if you're willing to speak. Or even something that bothered you for a while, but you eventually you eventually were willing to forgive. I would love to hear about your experience with that. Let me know in the comment section down below. I understand this can be a touchy subject, but I think it's good that we talk about the things that bother us. Communication to me is a key to feeling less pain and getting rid of some of that burden that's on your heart. Let me know down in the comment section down below. I'm always willing to listen if you're willing to talk.